to EnterJoel, the aftermath of Bayern Munich match. So we lost 3-1. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. It seems that, we got a lot to learn. So what we got to do is just chill and relax and just go again for the second game in a few weeks' time. So that's all we got to do. We just got to chill and relax. I know some people are sort of feeling angry about the whole performance. To be honest, I was, it's a young team. It's a young team in the Champions League for the first time. Some of these players haven't played in the Champions League before, and I just think, we went toe to toe with Bayern Munich, who are a bit more experienced in the Champions League. I have to admit, they were a better team tonight. However, I think there were parts of our game could have been improved, and I just think we did well in some bits of the game. We just the defending and the passing of the ball and the game management could have been much better. So we just have to chill and relax and say, you know what, we got loads more games coming up, and they're saying about it's not a sprint, it's a marathon. So this is a marathon. So we got to take this loss and learn from it and move on, because we have got a big game this weekend against Man United. So what we got to do is chill and relax. So I'm happy with some bits of the performance tonight. We didn't play well. To be honest, we didn't play well at all. So we just have to really take it on the chin and say, you know what? It's our first loss in the Champions League, and it's great that we are back in the Champions League, back where we belong. And it's great that we went to Bayern Munich away to have some great memories of that 2012 final where we won that game. So it is what it is. We just have to take it on the chin. So the score was 3-1 to Chelsea. Well, I wish it was, but we lost to Bayern Munich 3-1. So yeah. So hi to new viewers. Thank you for tuning in. So if you have any questions, please do in the comments and stuff. So yeah, Harry Kane, Harry Kane was very good. He was very good. It's just, I think he played better than he was at Tottenham. And yeah, thank you. I know. Thank you, my friend. Thank you. It was hard luck, but it is the first match night of the Champions League. And it seems that Enzo Maresca's method of, maybe just lose the first game in the league phase, can't believe it. It used to be the group stage, but now it's a whole 24 teams league phrase sort of thing. So it is what it is. So it seems that, good managers will lose the first game in their major competition, and hopefully to toughen up these young players to try and win something, to go on to win our next game. But I just think the Premier League is our more of our objectives. It would be nice if we can win the Champions League after a great success in the World Club Cup. We are world champions, so it is what it is. So, if you have any questions, any thoughts, put down in the comments and likes. It will be amazing to my channel. So, yes, I normally talk about Chelsea. I do talk about some other football stories and stuff, but mainly Chelsea because that's where my passion is. I support Chelsea, and so yes, I just thought I just would go live and maybe talk about a few things. So, hi. Mardi. Hi, Mardi. I think that's is that how the right pronunciation? So, if you have any questions, any footballing questions, so you can talk about it. I'm not that sad about that we lost against Bayern Munich. I knew it would be a very, very tough game. And, it's better that we take a loss now rather than in the middle of the season in the middle of this league phase. And I don't really like this new format of the Champions League, but we just got to go with it, go with the flow and be competitive. So, yeah. I will talk anything you like me to, any questions you have, I can answer them to the best that I can. So, yeah, I do like this team of, Cole Palmer played really well tonight. I just wish the rest of the team could have been better, but it's a lesson, it's a life lesson, footballing lesson. And, so Bayern Munich were a good team. They're a very, very, very good team. And we just have to be, take it on the chin and move on to the weekend where we're playing against Man United. And we got a midweek game against Lincoln in the League Cup next week. So, it will be interesting. It will be interesting to see how we can recover from this Bayern Munich loss and go and focus on Saturday. Because I have noticed Enzo Maresca, our manager, he took off some of the players and he took off some of the players and put on some of the players who need minutes on the pitch. And, because we were already 3-1 down. Cole Palmer tried to score the second goal for us, but it was offside apparently. So it is what it is. We just have to take it on the chin and say, do you know what? We move forward, because you can't take back time. You have to move forward. And I just think, Enzo Maresca was focusing more about this weekend. And, because being in this Champions League, where this format, where we're playing, I think we're playing at least 6 teams. And it looks like we can afford at least to lose 2 matches and win the rest of the match that we got in this league phase. So what do I know? Because I prefer the old format of the Champions League where they have about 4 teams in the group stage, and it's much better that way. But with this league phase, it just feels a bit too, European Super League type competition. And it's just a bit boring trying to match with other teams who are a bit more similar to you, sort of thing. And it doesn't feel right. But, it's an interesting concept, but the idea is not a good idea to have a big, massive league phase where 10 teams will automatically qualify, and then I think it's from 11th to the 20th team, they go into the extra playoff round to try and qualify for the next round. And it just don't make sense. Like what happened to Man City last season. They were struggling. They were struggling for wins in this Champions League phase, and they finished. I think they finished 15th in the Champions League phase, and they got knocked out to Real Madrid, I think, in the playoff round, I think. So, but it is what it is. So, it's just a very, very weird, mix of. It's just very weird. I just don't like it, but it is what it is, So I can see you've got 3 people here. Say hi and subscribe if you're liking my content. And most of my videos are all about Chelsea, a little bit about my life, and some football stories like breaking news. Jose Mourinho, he could be the new manager of Benfica, one of the great Portuguese team, and he could be, going there, be a manager of Benfica, but it's all to find out we'll see if there's any breaking news. I do like Jose Mourinho. I wish he could come back to Chelsea one day, but I just think he has achieved everything that he has achieved in his managerial career. And so I'm thinking, he's going back to the place where he started. Well, we tried to start his career at Benfica in his first spell. Didn't work out for some reason, but I'm thinking it's great. He's going back to his home country, Portugal, and hopefully try to revive Benfica and hopefully do something with that team, because if he does become the new manager of Benfica are going to, they're coming to our home place, Stamford Bridge, in a couple of weeks' time. So I just think it will be great to see him in the away dugout area. But it's a bit an awkward feeling, but it is what it is. I think he did a great job in Ferdinand's when he was in Turkey a few weeks ago, but it didn't work out for some reason. So it is what it is. So thank you for subscribing. Thank you. Giving you a thumbs up if I can, but here's the thumbs up. So, yeah, it is like what's happening at Man United, with Ruben Armarian, or whatever his name is. And I think he is a good manager, but I just think he went to the wrong place at the wrong time at Man United. And I'm thinking, I mean, he's very stubborn in trying to introduce this 5-3-2 formation, and it doesn't really suit the players. I mean, you got some players who can be flexible, adaptable. I mean, the modern game of football now is to be, adapting to any situation and be flexible. You don't have to be a left back or right back. You can be a left back, sort of slot into the midfield. And I just think, why, what's going on at Man United doesn't make sense. I mean, but I think come Saturday, they will make it so difficult for Chelsea to beat them, because they will be motivated. I'm sure the players will be motivated, because, if you go to Old Trafford, like back in the 90s, it was an absolute fortress at Old Trafford, because most teams were struggling to beat Man United in the 90s. But now they're like going to Old Trafford. It was like, going into the soft play area. That's what it feels like. No atmosphere. And Chelsea could beat Man United. I'm sure we will beat Man United on Saturday. But it just feels like we're going into the soft play area. Not that, tension, the scared feeling as it once used to be back in the 90s. Every team was scared to go to Man United, go to Old Trafford. But yeah, so I want to say hi to some of you who are new viewers. Thank you for tuning in. I do talk about Chelsea. I do talk about some other football teams and a little bit of my life. So if you like what I'm saying, subscribe. It'll be great. So, yes. If you have any questions, put down in the comments. So, yeah. So, if you let me see something. Let me see. So, if you have any questions, anything that you can think of, put down in the comments. So, going back to Chelsea, I think, yes, it's our first match night of the Champions League and facing one of the great German teams, Bayern Munich. And, I just think, we went toe to toe with them and they were really good tonight. I just think Chelsea didn't play well at all. They didn't play well at all. And I just think we just have to move on. I know the season is still young. It's like the saying, the night is still young. If you're going out to see, trying to go on a pool with some ladies and go, you know what, the night is still young. So I will say this, the night is still young for some of these players. Bye. Thank you for subscribing. Catch up with all my videos. Thank you. Thank you for watching my live for the first time. Hardy. Thank you. I hope I pronounced the name right. Sorry if I do, if I can't. So yeah. If you have any more questions, anything, so yeah. I'm looking forward to the weekend. I'm looking forward to the weekend, and Liverpool struggled, didn't they? Apparently, they struggled against Atletico Madrid tonight, and they needed a. So apparently, they didn't have a single Englishman playing in the starting 11. Apparently, so. But I don't really know much what happened between Liverpool and Atletico Madrid. The last time I heard that they were, I think they were like 2-0 up, and then all of a sudden, Atletico Madrid came back to score 2 goals, and then Liverpool, always lucky, aren't they? They are the luckiest team. They are so lucky. They are touching gold right now. I don't know what kind of gold, but it's some sort of gold, They are touching gold. And they scored the 3rd goal. So, yeah, their captain saved the day, didn't they? So, yeah. So, if you have any questions, if you put down the like, it'll be great. So, yeah. So, what are you all up to tonight? Hopefully something exciting, something, who do you support? Is there any football teams do you support? So, yeah, so it's good to see Cole Palmer scoring goal tonight. I mean, the second goal, I don't think it was offside, but for some reason, VAR said it was offside. So, yeah, we just have to, take it on the chin and be like, you know what, it is what it is. So if there's any questions you want to ask, write down in the comments, and so if there's anything you could think of, it'd be great to see what comments and any thoughts you might have. Yeah. Garnacho. He came off the bench, didn't he, in the second half? Tried to. I mean, yeah, I thought he played okay. But I think they could have been on those substitution a little bit early. I mean, the way we started the second half, and I just think, you know what, it could have been something. It could have been something. But, and I feel like Reece James could have stayed on in the midfield to tighten up the midfield. But it is what it is. I think Enzo Maresca just wanted to try and give some of the players a good rest so we can focus on the weekend. So, yeah. So, if you're enjoying what I'm saying so far, put down the like. If you want to subscribe, that would be amazing. So, yes. Who do I look like? Well, have you heard of the British Asian comedian, Romesh Ranagath? And some people might say I do look like quite a few people, but mainly Romesh. So, yes. Yeah, the white version of Ramesh. So yeah, but I'm not from Crawley, even though I do live near Crawley. But yeah, I do like Ramesh. He's hilarious, absolutely hilarious. Jeremy Beadle, maybe not. Well, when I trim and then when I do my hair, I don't look like Jeremy Beadle, but so where are you from? So John Smith, do you support a football team? So yeah. So if you have any questions, any thoughts, put down in the comments. And yeah, just putting the charger on my phone. There we go. So, but yeah, most people say I look like Ramesh. Some people saying I could have been in a double act with him, because there are some not many double acts in the comedy world, but it is what it is. So I talk mainly about football, mainly about Chelsea, a little bit of my life, and if you want to watch more videos of me, subscribe if you like, and put a like in this as well. So it would help my channel a lot. So yeah. So and I want to say hi to the new viewers. Yeah. Oh, Jim Smith. Oh, you're Jim Smith. Sorry. Hi, Jim. So I will come back. I will do some I normally do a short video on a Monday and do a long form video 2 days after and a short video if there's any breaking news around the football world. And then I'll do the build up for the Chelsea's games during the weekend. And I might do a live show after the Chelsea game. So I thought I might just do a live game like I am doing right now. So yeah. So if there's any comments or any thoughts you'd like to say, well, who do you think who was Chelsea's man of the match tonight? It'll be interesting to know. I thought Harry Kane was really good for Bayern Munich. Ole's, the guy who used to play for Crystal Palace, he played well. Few others played well tonight, but I thought the referee was absolute criminal. You know, some of the fouls, it could have been a foul, could have been a yellow card, may have been a sending off, could have been, but it is what it is. I think the referee was trying to play with the flow and sort of being like, you know what, all right, even though that might be a foul or not a foul, I'll just let it go, let it play on, sort of thing. But it is what it is. So if you are new to this channel, please put a like, any comments, subscribe if you like it. So yeah. So I'm still learning how to do live streams and stuff. But it is really hard to when you're trying to think of things, even though I do have my notes, but I do run out of notes. But I am very good with my imagination and trying to think of things and stuff and creative sort of thing. But it is what it is. So yeah, I will see you all for the next video. Thank you for joining in, and I'll wave goodbye here. Thank you for joining my live. Thank you.